Hey guys, this is Duncan Devs. Can do a quick tutorial on how to set up and install the Godlike multiplayer client side. So it's download. You just download it from Drive or from Nexus when I bother to put it there, and then it's just a regular zip file. So you can just go ahead and drag that whole thing into wherever you want it to be. Most important thing, you don't have to do this, but I definitely recommend it because it's going to save you a couple minutes. If you open it up, go into this data folder, streaming assets. There's a config file. Probably going to want to edit that. And there's a couple things you can do in here. You can set the resolution, full screen, VSync stuff, however you want. And you're going to want to set your default username and password. You don't actually have to do that. You can do it in the UI. You'll see that in a second, but it's just faster if you just type it in here. All right, so once you've got the settings set up, if you want, fire up the game. You can fill them out again here. It's kind of a refresher on where that file is if you forgot. And then, yeah, once you're ready, you can just hit connect. That'll join you off. In this case, I got a game going already. There's only one in here, but you know, if there's more than one running, you can hit refresh. It doesn't auto refresh. You got to hit the button. So yeah, I can see that's here, and so I'm going to go ahead and join this game. So I'll go ahead and join this one as Hades. So yeah, once the client loads up, I'm going to kind of make this a quick tutorial as well. So you can right click to move the camera around like this. You can do mouse wheel to zoom in and out, and then left click and drag to kind of pan the camera around. That character right there is obviously the guy in VR, so that's me at the moment. So I'm just going to move myself in VR, and you can see me moving around on the map right there. And then, yeah, there's a few other things going on in here. So obviously this map looks exactly the same as the one we saw. You'll see that you're building up mana points down here, and you have these anger points. So mana you gain over time. Anger you gain when people that you spawn get killed in the game. If one of the people that you spawn gets decapitated, then you get like 3 points or something. So with those points, you can do a couple things. The most obvious one being you can spawn in Npcs. So I'm going to spawn in a couple of gladiators. So I left click and then left click again. We can spawn a guy in. You can also control that guy. So I'm going to stop, and that's just going to tell him to stop moving. So now he's going to stand still. I'll tell him to walk over here and do a waypoint. In fact, I'll make him walk right over to me so I don't have to go anywhere. And I have to stab him, demonstrate what happens, surprisingly. Find a weapon. But you see you get an anger point for that. You can, so yeah, with the mana points you got, you can spawn in different types of units. The gladiators attack everything, even your own troops, because they're gladiators. The other units are all loyal. They cost a little bit more money. The tooltips explain how much they cost. Some of them just cost mana. Some of them cost anger. You can call in a lightning strike, which will imbue any weapons within that range with fire immediately. So you can't really see it in here, but in Blade and Sorcery, I can see it, and there are flaming swords now for those two guys because I triggered this magic. The other thing you can do is you can spawn objects. So there's a couple of different types of objects that we can spawn. So I'm going to first of all do this one, which is my temple. If you spawn your temple, then you gain mana faster. So took up all my mana, but now I gain 2 points every second instead of 1. That object does also exist in Blade and Sorcery. It has crappy colliders on it, but it does indeed exist. Okay, and then the other thing I can do is I can start dropping down structures. So each god actually has slightly different things. And with the structures, you can rotate them as well with Q and E. So this one, Hades, has these kind of like walls. These are obviously temporary. I'm just kind of playing around with the concept here. But you can see you can actually stack them on top of each other. Each god can put down 10 of their unique structures like that. They only have one temple, but they can put down 10 different things. You can drop in this kind of droppable structure, and it will just drop from about 100 feet or something in the air, and so you'll see it will start to come down here. It doesn't actually do damage currently. It's obviously a little bit OP, so I just kind of was showing the concept. We can discuss if it's a good idea or not. So yeah, that's pretty much the basics of it. I think I wanted to cover. I'm going to log out as this god. I'm still running this same game here. going to rejoin as somebody else because I wanted to show you that if I come in as, say, Odin here. Couple things. One, the structure of the things that were already down on the map do persist, and so between sessions or whatever, the Blade and Sorcery person is obviously keeping all this constant. And each god, damn, I picked the worst one because this guy has almost exactly the same structure. But you see the idea here. I'm able to drop these things in the game. And the other thing I wanted to point out was that each god spawns slightly different looking NPCs. The Odin ones are obviously Vikings. The Anubis ones are skeletons. Mars, I think, are pirates. And the other one are like orcs or something. Obviously, they all look the same in Blade and Sorcery, but this is just for the visual here. Yes, that's pretty much it. One limitation is that there are only 5 NPCs that you can spawn at any given time. And the other limitation I'm just not going to show in this video is if you've got more than one god playing at once, it rotates every 22 seconds which god can spawn. So you can't all spawn at the same time. There's still the 5 limit total, but this just makes it a little bit more fun, so it kind of rotates through people. Anyway, yeah, that was the client version there. If you're interested in beta testing, reach out and you can download this. It's all running right now.